Okay, so as part of lesson 1 of module 2, we're looking at the topic of leadership branding. I thought it would be nice for me to take you through this exercise because this is quite an important exercise when looking at building a leadership brand. When we're thinking about this, it shouldn't be something that we're scribbling down and going, yeah, well, this is what I want to be famous for. And yeah, I want to be trusted and I want to, for people to think I listen to them. Brilliant. That's an amazing thing to want. And it's an amazing thing to want as one of your leadership pillars. But actually building a leadership brand requires some thought. It requires some attention, and it does actually require some effort. So you'll be able to see on the screen here, this is the module. And I just thought it would be nice to take you through the exercise in terms of the steps to building a leadership brand, and just talk to you about how to input your answers into the online system so that they're stored and they're there, but also it helps you to be able to have somewhere where you can go to be able to input all your answers. So these are the 5 steps to building a leadership brand. And these are the 5 things that we're going to think about. And these are the 5 questions that we're going to answer ourselves and also put some action plans into place. So we start with the results. So what do you want to achieve? We then look at what do you wish to be known for, or what do you want to be famous for? Then we're going to look at your identity, and for us to really define that in terms of the behaviours and descriptive words. We're then going to have your leadership brand statement, and I'll show you how to test it in a second, and then how to make that brand identity real. What are you going to do? What will the action plan be that supports you creating and implementing your own leadership brand? So what we need to look at is, first of all, what results do you want to achieve in the next year? And I think it's always a good idea to take into account these 3 groups. So your customers, your employees, and the wider organization. And focus on the expectation of those you are working to serve rather than your personal strengths. So leadership brand is always focused outwards. It's about delivering results. So you can say, okay, so what is it that I want? What are the major results that I want to deliver at work for my customers, for my employees, and for the wider organization? And you would type your answer into here, or you can upload a file if you want to do it in a different format, in maybe a Word doc, a Google Doc, or a PDF. Second part of this exercise is, what do you wish to be known for? So this is about your personal branding. So what do you want people to say about you when you're not in the room? What do you want your reputation as a leader to be? And what words would you like your subordinates or your team members or your peers to use to describe you? Again, you can type your answer into here or upload a file. Then we're going to look at defining your values. Now, we talked about values when we looked at module 1, when we were looking at organizational culture. But to define your leadership brand and your identity, you can now link your descriptive words to your values. So this will allow you to build a deeper, more complex description. So not just what you want to be known for, but how you're probably going to have to act for you to get there. So what we're going to do in this part of the exercise is you're going to look at what your personal values are. So they reflect your fundamental choices of who you are and who you want to be. So you will write down your personal values here, or you can upload a file. Step 4 is essentially pulling everything together. So in this step, you're going to look at the connection between steps 2 and steps 3, and how do they feed into your overall objectives, which was in step 1. A really good way to do that is to say, I want to be known for being so that I can deliver. And when you draft your leadership brand, you can then ask the questions to see if it needs to be refined or tweaked. So is this the brand identity that best presents who I am and what I can do? Does my brand identify say something that creates value in the eyes of my organization and the key stakeholders? And are there any risks I'm taking by exhibiting this brand? Can I live and breathe this? Is this within my control to live and breathe this? And again, you can write your, I want to be known for being X so that I can deliver Y in this box here. And then finally, how are we going to make it real? So think about this as if you are creating a brand that may be a product brand or a brand that's attached to a product. So how are you going to advertise your brand? Or how are you going to advertise yourself? What's your communication strategy? What's your advertising campaign? What mediums are you going to use? Have you got social media within your organization? Have you got an intranet? Can you upload videos of you and your team at your team away days? What are you going to do to be able to advertise yourself within the business? And finally, one of the most important parts, which does quite often get forgotten, is how will you know that if you've been successful? What does success look like for you? What does this brand being a success look like for you? And again, you can type your answer there or you can upload a file.